Well, folks, let's take a look at these Primark Freedom blackberries that I propagated 3 months ago, 90 days, almost exactly 90 days ago. They've got a lot of good green growth, but we're gonna see if we got any roots. That's what we need, roots. So I've got 2 different pots here, and you'll have to go back and watch the videos to see how I did it. But the difference between these 2 pots is this pot has no dip and grow, no rooting hormone. I like to use dip and grow, and I used it on these, and they do look better, but it's almost not an apples and apples comparison because these cuttings were so small. Some of these cuttings are just about twice as big as a pencil lead. Some of these are as big as a pencil. So it's really not apples and apples because the cuttings are bigger here than they are here. And then after this, we'll go look at the ones also in the wicking tub. So stay with me on that. What I'm going to try to do, maybe unsuccessfully, but I'm going to try to do, is easily, gently dump this out and hopefully it's just going to be one big root ball. And then I'll put it right back in there because I'm going to give these to my neighbor, and he's going to line his whole garden, I believe, with blackberries. So I don't really want to do this, but I'm doing this for you. I was just going to give them to him, but then you wouldn't know whether or not they did well. So I'm going to try, so I'm going to squeeze it up a little bit. It's coming out. You know what? There ain't hardly nothing there. I've got a little bit of roots started. I'm gonna put it back in along with the dirt, pack it in there, and give it to my neighbor as is. And I'll tell him he probably needs to leave them in this pot another month or so, and then pot them up individually if they stay alive. After 3 months, I'm disappointed because they don't have. Well, I saw some down in there. That's dadgum, there's some. I hate to pull on it though. That one right there's got some good roots on it. Hey, look at that. There you go. That's what you're looking for. After about 3 months, that's good. That's really good. So I'm gonna try to put it back down in there without breaking those roots off. So he's going to have some viable plants here, I do believe. Now this is the ones without dip and grow. We'll take a look at them. I don't expect them to be any better than those for sure because the dip and grow I think helps. Pull it all up in it. I say I feel like I'm cutting roots. I can kind of feel them. Yeah, it's got some started, sure does, right there. Right there. That's not bad. Not great, but not bad. There's some right there. Started. I'm just going to put it back in and give them to him. And if he plants them and gets them going, I will take you over there and show you the bounty. But for right now, I'm just afraid I'm going to destroy these roots by showing them to you. Much as I'd love to show them to you, I would much rather have some viable plants I can give to him. So let's go over there and look at the cuttings I put in the wicking tub. That was an experiment, and it was only about 6 weeks ago. Now some of these are blackberries, and some of them are Satsuma orange. I showed you in one video that the below the graft was bringing up a lot of suckers or spurs or whatever you want to call them. Somebody suggested that I should try to root those, and I'd have rooting stock for any Satsuma cuttings I want to make. So I put them in here with the blackberries. But these I want you to look at this. That's 6 weeks. That's a real good growth. Again, I hate to go in there and start digging around. I'll show you when it's time. Still got a little onion right there. I'll show you when I get ready to pot them up or give them to my neighbor or whatever. But they'll come out individually then, and I'll get that trowel and just dig out a big clump and see what they look like. But if they've still got growth, a month from now, 2 months from now, when it starts getting warm, then they're going to be viable. They're making roots. So anyway, some of these are big. That's a big cutting. That's big as that. What was that big old pencil we used to use when we was in first grade? Big old pencil they taught you how to write with. That's as big as that one is. The rest of them big maybe as a number 2, some of them. But, and then they got these little spurry looking things. That's that Satsuma orange. So I don't know whether they're going to root or not. There's a leaf. I don't remember that leaf being on there. So they might. You know what? There's a couple of leaves. They really look good. I can't remember. I don't think I dipped these in Dip and Grow. But look at that. That one may have, because that was a terminal end. That could be that those leaves were already there, but I don't remember any of these other leaves. I don't remember that leaf being there. So those may be going real well. Anyway, so that's the 6-week-old cuttings from same cutting, same type, Primark Freedom. That's the 6-week that I did in the wicking tub. Dadgum, those look pretty doggone good. So anyway, that's the end of the experiment. I'll let you know what happens to the cuttings when my neighbor repots them. He's going to do with them what he wants to do with them, because I'm going to give them to him and tell him to. All right. That's it, folks. We're making cuttings. We're trying to anyway. And we're gone.